Namaste, Jai Bharat. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit is over just. Last time there was a meeting of defense ministers where the resolution, something which took at that time, did not condemn the Pahalgam attack from Pakistan. It's explicitly from Pakistan, and Pakistan doesn't honor that it's their people, but it's their trained terrorists. They're trained explicitly, there's no doubt in it. This time, things have changed. That time, China was having much soft corner for Pakistan for various reasons, and China did not know how great a deceivers or how great deceivers are Pakistan. Probably they knew, but they never expected it to this extent. This time things are different. Things are different in the sense that China could get continuous and repeated bad taste lessons from Pakistanis. They have lost a lot of money in Pakistan. They believed in the promises which Pakistan made to China. That's one thing. And second thing, they have insulted Chinese weapons. In Operation Sindoor, they have used Chinese air defense. They have used Chinese weapons. They also tried to use Chinese aircraft. I'm not very sure of that. But they used Chinese defense equipments. And these people are brainless and they don't know how to use properly, because these people are so lazy that they don't work. They don't work, so their individual efficiency is not at all present. So no matter which great aircraft, great equipment you have, the man behind it is a Pakistani. So they have, they could not use the Chinese weapons effectively. And then now Bharat had, we have seen that in Operation Sindoor, nothing could make any impact in Bharat from the military side of Pakistan. They sent waves of drones, but nothing could come inside. They tried to send Chinese missiles, but nothing happened. But one reason for the failure is not only our air defense efficiency, but it's their inefficiency of using the weapons also. So China was ashamed. Chinese weapons were, their market is gone. Only because of Pakistan, their weapons market has gone. Their weapons were not used properly, I suppose. Because of their inefficiency, the name goes to China. So with all those things, their relation, Chinese and Pakistan relation, is little strained. That's another thing. They've lost money. Their trust was betrayed. Of course, China, we don't trust. That's another thing. We don't trust China as usual. They have their interests in Arunachal Pradesh, etc., etc. And until that is settled for the time being, I'm sure, until this is something like permanently settled, we would not trust, but we never treat them as enemies. Because there's a fundamental relationship between the people of China and people of Bharat that can't be forgotten. It's only the political differences. And there were some very interesting scenes. Pakistani Prime Minister, I think he is the most unfortunate Prime Minister in the world, because this man has got no primeness in him, in the sense he has no authority, he has no power. As on today, it is their army man who is controlling things and who is having their say. The army man has a puppet Prime Minister who has no primacy in him. He is just made to dance according to the tune of the army man, and he is constantly scared that when he has to flee Pakistan with his life, if the army man doesn't put him in the jail and subsequently execute him, this is all possibilities. So he should continue to be in good terms with the army man. So he is yours obediently. That's how things are in Pakistan. And this Pakistan and democracy are a contradiction in terms. They don't go together because of their attitude and kind of understanding a culture which they have developed after becoming separate from Bharat in the name of Islam, which is not real Islam. I don't think that Pakistanis are Muslims in the real sense of the term, because I have interacted with the Muslims of the Arab world, and I found them perfectly gentlemen and very reasonable kind of people, very reasonably good kind of people. The Arab world I'm talking about. And there's no comparison between the Arab world and the Pakistani when you talk about Islam, religion. And there are just recently I reviewed an article from somewhere, of course, in the Islamic world, but certainly not this Pakistani lot, because his language is very clear, very excellent. And I was very impressed with the kind of article which I had sent to some agency, which came to me for review. And a very reasonable, very sensible kind of an article. I really liked it. I really liked it. Not just his language, but his structure, everything. So, in the SCO meeting, this Prime Nawaz Sharif. Sharif is a word which is a meaning which you have to think how much of Sharafat can be found in him. That's a different case. Was standing there. He was insulted. He was insulted badly, repeatedly. First thing, they were standing in line, both sides. The Prime Ministers or the leaders of other nations were standing in kind of single row, like something like into an attention. And they were standing on either side in single line. So many people are standing either side on single line. And then in the middle, three people were walking, and that was, one was Russian, Vladimir Putin, then the Chinese boss, Xi Jinping, and of course my Prime Minister, Narendra Bhai Modi. They were walking, and they were talking and walking. And Shehbaz Sharif was standing at one side. The videos are present in the media, social media. And he was standing quiet like a guilty child. And then when Xi Jinping, what he made a stupid attempt. When no one was looking at him. In fact, no one was looking at anyone in particular. They were discussing something and walking. It was not deliberate. No one was deliberately ignoring him, because there were many others standing. They were not looking at anyone at all. So don't make an issue of it. Nobody looked at him. Why he is in particular? He is standing one among many. No one was looking at anyone. That's very clear from the video. So they were walking ahead, and the moment this man saw Xi Jinping, he put a big Colino smile, no, that's to that toothpaste. He put on a Colino smile and stepped forward to, forcefully shake hands with Xi Jinping. I didn't think that he ever knew it. He just walked ahead. That, of course, people consult as an insult. I don't know. It is people's reading. You can read it in any manner. That's one thing. But then, what is significant is that there was a joint statement that comes after the summit, where many things were condemned. Many things were condemned. Many terrorist activities were condemned. Bharat, as usual, make the statement that against terrorism, no matter where. So the terrorism was condemned. And explicitly this time, Pahalgam was condemned. And the declaration was signed. But when the came out, the thing came out in black and white, Nawaz Sharif's name was Shehbaz Sharif, not Nawaz Sharif. Shehbaz Sharif's name was not there in the list of joint declaration. But nonetheless, it was on his face that it was told that Pahalgam attack was a terrorist attack, and that's very nasty, a heinous kind of thing. You choose people in the name of religion. It is simple. They just confirm whether the tourist standing in front were Hindus or Muslims. It's very easy for them to do. They open their trousers and see whether they were circumcised or not. And those who are circumcised, they considered as Muslims. And then to reaffirm that, they asked, you recite Kalma. And of course, how will a Hindu know Kalma? He doesn't know Gita properly. That's the irony of it. and then then identified them as Hindus, and then killed them, point blank range. Killed only men. The Hindu women, the wives of those people killed. They went in between and said, "If you kill husbands, you kill us also." Then the answer which the terrorists gave to her is that you go and tell your Modi. So Modi is your enemy. You go and tell your Modi. Fine. Then of course they faced Operation Sindoor and they kept crying to USA save us, etc. And USA lost their nuclear stockpile in 10 because we attacked the USA stockpile. Fine. So this was condemned on the face of Shehbaz Sharif. And that was a lesson which Pakistan should get. Not Shehbaz Sharif as a person, but Pakistan as a failed state was given good from there. That is one point which was needed, which was really needed. It had to be done. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Siya Ram.